Welcome back to the show. I love having you on the show.
I love being here.
Oh, come on, look at how much they love. They stood up, just know, New York loves you.
You guys are the best.
They love you. This is your...
You guys are the best.
It's probably because I'm not mature enough or smart enough.
You can't walk no line.
Maybe he doesn't like the way I dress. No, that can't be it. It's really gotta be.
Never thought I'd be here my whole life. Growing up in Tennessee.
Well, definitely, like, it's such an honor to get the Oscar, so I don't think you ever think it's gonna happen again. But just to be doing, a big part of it was having this moment of people actually seeing each other in one space.
You got emotional up there.
I know, well, women came.
I want to say that Johnny Cash and June Carter had a wonderful tradition of honoring other artists and musicians and singers.
You better not arrest me.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me?
No, I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
Arrest her for disorderly conduct.
The full police surveillance tape of a run-in with the law leaked. ABC's Steve Osunsami has the story.
You don't get back
I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm allowed to stand on American ground and ask any question I want to ask.
She made her first public statement about the incident.
April 19th, 2013. And in the passenger seat, an Oscar winner is beginning to unravel. Reese steps out of the car. The state trooper tells her to get back in. She does, briefly. She gets out again. He warns her a second time. She gets out a third. "Do you know my name?" she demands. "No," he replies. 37 years of careful cultivation, detonating in real time. Every magazine cover, every Reese's Pieces press tour smile, every Type A headline she'd ever given an approving interview to. All of it, now a mugshot. The tabloids called it a meltdown. The industry called it career suicide. Reese Witherspoon called it the worst night of her life. To understand how Reese Witherspoon ended up in handcuffs,
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me?
No, I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
let's rewind 37 years. New Orleans, March 22nd, 1976. Laura Jean Reese Witherspoon, born to a surgeon father and a nursing professor mother. Dr. John Witherspoon, Air Force Lieutenant. Dr. Betty Witherspoon, PhD, Vanderbilt faculty. This was not a household that tolerated clutter. Not on the countertops, not in the schedule, not in the children. By the age of 7, the family had given her a nickname, Little Type A. Her parents thought it was charming. Reese filed it away as a job description. She learned composure the way other children learn to ride bicycles. By 11, she'd won a 10-state talent fair in Tennessee. By 14, she had her first leading role. The Man in the Moon, 1991. Reese on the poster. Reese on the cover of every regional magazine in the South. Roger Ebert reviewed the film and called her first on-screen kiss perfect.
How's that? Perfect.
A grown man reviewing an adolescent in the pages of a national newspaper. Nobody thought twice about it. Be useful. Be the one who never embarrasses anyone at dinner. And here is the part she kept out of the press for 20 years. A voice in her ear telling her she was worthless. She was, in her own words, really young. Her spirit, in her own words, diminished. She was being photographed on red carpets and dismantled in private. Both things happening at the same time to the same girl. So she did what the smartest children in impossible rooms always do. She got better at the performance.
That means he's the one.
Killed her parents.
By 20, Hollywood had her exactly where it wanted her. Bankable, compliant, southern, smiling. What Hollywood had not quite clocked was the other word in the nickname, the Type A part. The girl had been taking notes the entire time. She had been studying the room since she was 7 years old. And somewhere in those notes, a very inconvenient realization was forming. The people signing her checks owned her image. Little did they realize, one day she would flip the script. March 5th, 2006, the Kodak Theatre, Los Angeles. Reese Witherspoon, 29 years old, stands on the Academy Awards stage. She has just won Best Actress for Walk the Line.
And the Golden Globe goes to Reese Witherspoon. Welcome home.
Okay, my husband just hit me so hard I almost fell over.
She learnt to sing.
I had never sung professionally before, so I had to learn to sing over the course of 6 months. And I worked with voice coaches, and I learned to play an instrument. That was really hard.
She learnt the auto harp. She treated the role like a medical residency. Her acceptance speech names her grandmother and highlights her southern roots.
My grandmother was one of the biggest inspirations in my life. She taught me how to be a real woman, to have strength and self-respect, and to never give those things away. And those are a lot of qualities I saw in June Carter.
America loves her. The industry loves her. The dress is Christian Dior. 7 months later, she files for divorce from Ryan Philippe. 2 children. A Golden Couple magazine cover narrative dissolving in real time. Ava is 7, Deacon is 2. Reese is a single mother with an Oscar and, in her own words, brain like scrambled eggs. She expects the industry to carry her through. The industry has other ideas. Here is what nobody tells you about winning an Oscar as a woman in her late 20s in 2006. The Academy Award is not a promotion. It is a ceiling. The scripts that arrive in the weeks after are worse than the scripts that arrive before. One script is so thin she thinks it must be a mistake. She calls her agent. The agent tells her every actress in town is fighting for the part. The part is the girlfriend in a dumb comedy. Reese is holding a gold statue and being told to audition, essentially, for the role of supportive wife with 3 lines.
She said hello, and I said, I just want to let you know, I'm the right person for this part. You can cast somebody else, but you'll be wrong.
Oh,
and
that's so Tracy Flick.
And I don't even know why I did it. I was just like so in the character. And about a week later, I got the call and I got the part.
Wow.
Oh, she thinks. So that's where we're at. This is the moment most careers quietly begin their slow fade. Actress wins Oscar. Actress turns 30. Actress disappears into mediocre rom-coms and then, eventually, disappears entirely. It is a pattern so well established that the industry has a term for it. They call it the Oscar curse. They apply it almost exclusively to women. Halle Berry in 2002, Gwyneth Paltrow in 1999, Hilary Swank in 2000, and again in 2005. All of them, post-win, watch the scripts get smaller, the fees get smaller, the whole runway gets smaller. The industry had a quiet, unspoken rule about leading ladies at peak value. Cash them out fast, before they age. Reese Witherspoon, type A since age 7, had absorbed the entire pattern in about 6 months. And she realised something her agents and managers hadn't bothered to explain. Being beloved was not the same as being powerful. Being bankable was not the same as being in control. She had spent 30 years collecting the wrong currency. The girlfriend in a dumb comedy script hit her desk sometime in 2011. She sat with it. She thought about her grandmother. She thought about her daughter. And she made a decision that most actresses in her position never make. She stopped waiting for the industry to give her better material. She started thinking about how to buy it herself. Every ambitious woman reaches the same crossroads eventually. You can keep asking the room for permission, or you can buy the room. Reese made her choice in 2012. That year, with her own money and a producer named Bruna Papandrea, she founded Pacific Standard.
My mother, who's here tonight, very strong, smart Southern woman, said to me, "If you want something done, honey, do it yourself." So I started my own production company, Pacific Standard Films, with the mission to tell stories about women. And I was nervous, y'all.
The concept was disarmingly simple. Stop auditioning for parts. Start buying books. Specifically, books by and about complicated women that Hollywood had ignored for decades. She bet on 2 titles out of the gate. The first was Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn.
Well, we started our company 3 years ago just to bring more female roles to the screen. We started noticing there weren't as many roles for women as leads in movies. So this was one of the first books that came to our attention, and before it came out, we got it and we brought it to the studios, and this is one of our first films.
A psychological thriller about a woman who fakes her own death to destroy her husband.
A best-selling book by author Gillian Flynn, Gone Girl, is the story of Nick Dunn, blamed for the sudden disappearance of his wife Amy. Not all is what it seems, as I found out in Harkins Theaters behind the screens.
The second was Wild by Cheryl Strayed.
I'm a 38-year-old woman. I've lived a lot of life. So I think I immediately understood that the book was so important for people to understand that you can forgive yourself for things that you've done in your life that seemed unforgivable.
A memoir about grief, heroin, and a solo hike up the Pacific Crest Trail. Both protagonists were exactly the kind of woman the industry had been telling her audiences didn't want. Angry, broken, sexual, unlikable. Reese read them both and bought the rights before the studios woke up. The industry response was, to put it gently, skeptical. Difficult women don't sell. That was the conventional wisdom. Reese knew the conventional wisdom was a business model, not a fact. Somebody somewhere had decided women wouldn't pay to watch other women be complicated. Nobody had actually tested the theory in a decade. She was going to test it. Gone Girl released in October 2014. Directed by David Fincher, Rosamund Pike in the lead, Reese, a producer credit. It grossed $369 million worldwide on a $61 million budget. The industry recalibrated its entire assumption about female-led thrillers. Then came Wild 2 months later. Reese produced, Reese starred. Reese was alone on camera for the majority of the film.
Reese Witherspoon's latest film opens Friday, and critics are already wild about her performance. She plays Cheryl Strayed, a young woman who plunges into a downward spiral of drugs and anonymous sex following the death of her mother. She decides the only way to redeem herself is to hike 1,000 miles solo on the Pacific Crest Trail, which makes for awkward encounters along the way.
She suffered panic attacks for weeks before shooting. The nudity, the drug use, the solitude, the weight of having bought the thing she was now carrying on her back for 94 minutes. She used a hypnotist to get through the first day. "I was so scared," she said later. And then she delivered the performance of her career. Wild earned her a second Academy Award nomination. 2 films, 1 year. Both Pacific Standard productions. Both proof of concept for a thesis the industry had refused to test. Women do show up for complicated women. They show up in enormous numbers. They just needed someone to stop gatekeeping the material. Reese had found her leverage. She was no longer an actress who needed good scripts. She was the person who decided which good scripts got made. And the Atlanta arrest, still in the rear view, had stopped looking like the worst thing that ever happened to her. It had started looking like the moment she finally understood the game. Here is the thing about a woman who has just proven the industry wrong about a $30 billion market. She does not stop at 2 films. In 2015, Reese launched Reese's Book Club, on paper a reading list, in practice a talent scouting operation. Every month she picked a book, mostly by women, mostly about women. Her followers bought the book by the hundreds of thousands. Publishers noticed, authors noticed. A Reese pick could turn a mid-list novel into a bestseller overnight.
And your book club is such a phenomenon. So I know you're a voracious reader and you were recommending books on Instagram and things.
Yeah. What the industry took slightly longer to notice was the second move. Before Reese picked a book publicly, her production company was quietly optioning the film rights.
Well, we started our company 3 years ago just to bring more female roles to the screen. We started noticing there weren't as many roles for women as leads in movies. So this was one of the first books that came to our attention, and before it came out, we got it and we brought it to the studios, and this is one of our first films.
The book club was free marketing for IP she already owned. It was, in hindsight, one of the cleanest vertical integrations in the history of modern Hollywood. In 2016, she folded the whole operation into a new company with a partner, AT&T. She called it Hello Sunshine. The mission statement was blandly corporate. The actual mission was to industrialize the thesis, find the stories, option the stories, produce the stories, own the stories, and then rent them on her terms to the streamers who had suddenly realized they needed exactly this kind of content. Big Little Lies premiered on HBO, Hello Sunshine production.
Disco theme. It's going to be amazing. Some blood flows out of the water. What are you doing?
Smoking. I hate smoking.
Nobody smokes anymore.
Reese producing and starring alongside Nicole Kidman.
I'm madly in love with him.
The show won 8 Emmys, including Outstanding Limited Series.
I just want to say thank you so much. This show is so much about...
The morning show launched Apple TV Plus as a prestige platform.
Noticing they want more.
Watching a beloved woman's breakdown is timeless.
Reese and Jennifer Aniston reportedly commanded $2 million per episode. The show cost Apple $15 million an episode to produce. Reese was no longer being paid to act. She was being paid to legitimize an entire streaming service. Little Fires Everywhere on Hulu. A Reese's Book Club pick, optioned years earlier, produced by Hello Sunshine, starring Reese. Book to club to option to screen to streaming deal. The funnel had become a factory. Then the other book club titles started landing. In 2021, Forbes named her the world's richest actress, with an estimated net worth of $400 million. 6 months later, she did the thing nobody had seen coming. She sold Hello Sunshine. August 2021, Blackstone backed Candle Media, a valuation of $900 million. She retained a significant equity stake and a seat on the board. She kept creative control of everything she cared about. What she sold, essentially, was the right to keep doing exactly what she had been doing, with someone else's capital. The girl from New Orleans who had spent 30 years being hired out had just sold her own company for nearly $1 billion, and she still owned the intellectual property. The human cost, throughout all of this, was not small. She cried through 14 to 17-hour days. She was, in her own words, deliriously tired. She described paparazzi attention as being like an animal in the zoo. Her second marriage, to Jim Toth, collapsed in March 2023. The man who had been in the Ford Focus with her on that Atlanta shoulder was not the man who could survive the scale of what she had built since. The rocket fuel of the sale, as she put it, sent them in different directions. She processed the divorce with the same discipline she had brought to everything else, and she kept building. This is the part of the story where you expect the tactic to pay off in peace. It does not. The tactic pays off in something more useful than peace. It pays off in permanence. There is a specific kind of power a woman holds when she owns the infrastructure everyone else depends on. Reese's Book Club now moves markets. Publishers plan their release schedules around her pick cycle. Hello Sunshine, even under Candle Media ownership, still operates with Reese at its creative center. Her current slate runs to roughly a dozen active projects. She can greenlight a film with a phone call. She can kill one with the same call. In February 2026, she gave an interview where she offered the closest thing to a thesis she has ever said out loud. You don't chase your dreams, you chase your talents. It sounds, at first, like a motivational poster. It is, in fact, a very precise statement of strategy. Dreams are what the industry sell to you. Talents are what you actually own. Reese spent 30 years being sold back to herself as a dream. Then she stopped. She figured out what she was actually good at, which was identifying stories other people missed, and she built a company around that talent. The Oscar is still on her shelf. It is, at this point, the least interesting thing in the room.
I want to say thank you to so many people who helped me create this role. Everyone at Fox, Kathy Conrad, James Keach.
The thing that made her untouchable was not the Academy Award. It was the library. Every woman on this channel arrives, eventually, at the same quiet understanding. Being the face is a short game. Being the owner is the only long one. Hollywood wanted Reese Witherspoon's likeness. It got her likeness for 30 years at a discount. What it did not bargain for was the girl taking notes. She took the worst night of her life and converted it into the first night of something permanent. She stopped renting her face and started owning the stories her face was in. If you have ever been told you should be grateful to be in the room, read the room more carefully. The people running it are not the ones who got invited. They are the ones who bought the building. Be bold. Own the IP.
I'm so blessed to have my family here tonight. My mother and my father are here. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything, for being so proud of me. It didn't matter if I was making my bed or making a movie. They never hesitated to say how proud they were of me. And that means so very much to a child. So thank you, Mom and Dad.